Kubuda kwezuva modzi yawira paruvare, mawe kwenejecha apo mvura yosasa. Kwandanganda yaive mitunu ine mago, chandaingoshuva kutumbuka ndopembera. It's never easy kukura usina nokuda.
Thank you very much. It's time to take off right now. Let's tend to the back of our programs. We want to sing our national anthem as we open. So I shall ask here our DJ to play us the national anthem in the background as we sing. The first verse is Shona, the second is in the Mele, and the last one is English. Language no gonna say so we let's play at the background, but let's find ourselves because the tune is the same. So DJ, let's say our national anthem.
Single time.
Dear Heavenly Father, we want to thank you this morning. We want to say Ebenezer, this far the Lord has taken us. For you have allowed us this day. This is the day you have made. We will indeed rejoice and be glad in it. It was a journey, but takutenda Mwari nokuti nhasi matusvika pano. Titungamirei patiri kufara nokupembera nehama dziri pano. Tinoda kukukudzai nezvose zvichaitwa pakati pedu. Mufaro wenyu ugova matiri, mweya mutsvene atichengete. Taisa zvose izvi mukati memaoko enyu, muzita neropa raJesu. Tose titi amen. Tingatora hedu nzvimbo dzedu. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Yes, thank you very much. Mamuka say, nakutenda Mwari kusanganiswa pamwe mangwanani ano, ini tinoitwa Pastor Zulu, kana kuti Reverend Zulu. I will be today your MC. Ndini ndichange ndichikaira chikepe chino, saka ndini ndine mvumo nhasi kuti ndikakushedza unongotenderwa kuti Master. Tunzika here. I am a pastor with the Inner City Christian Church, or Church of Christ, and I'm also the chaplain of the Zimbabwe Academy of Dental Nursing. But for this morning, I am the MC. Mwari ngavatiite zvakanaka. As we are in this room, our restrooms, the door to my right, tikabuda neipapo, tikati fambe pane door rakanzi ladies, then the next one rakanzi gents. And please make sure you enter into the right room if you are a gentleman, or the right room if you are a lady. Are we ready? Yes. I see. Are we ready? Yes. Okay, so let's maintain social distance. That is why COVID is still among us.
So let's make sure we maintain social distance and also let's try to keep our masks on. We've placed sanitizer at different points in the room. Please make sure every now and then you sanitize your hands. I know even Mama pick up a mask, but my smile from my own I want to see your smile.
Remember, function in the oral health, I someone on I say, even no mask, one lost again. Right, the company of name function. It was a funeral. The Papa Pinda like Chema, there is no way. Especially my mind, so the other one where I have spaghetti. The funeral, and the Karasikapa Mushaka funeral, no one to so the man, my other but Masika gets the Amenus no meeting as one. So we are going to sit up again to Batanga Chema, my way. Taishandanai, but I jamba. The Papa Sika Moon, but do the night at you. Afapanaka, come on, I can that's what we don't want that situation today. So what we are going to do, I'm going to call upon Irene Kudamoya to come here and give us our welcome remarks, so that we know with our two chema, let's put our hands up for Irene Kudamoyana.
Okay, I'm saying it looks like we are at the funeral. Instead, we are supposed to be celebrating, aren't we? Yes. So we should see smiling faces, especially from the graduates. You are the ones who light everyone up. So if you are serious, everyone becomes serious. They will think it's a serious thing. Okay. It's when ordinary people rise above the expectation and seize the opportunity that milestones truly are reached. Today, the 27th of November 2021, marks the milestone for us as leadership and you students, the graduates. It's my privilege and great pleasure to welcome you all on behalf of Odontoglass Investments subsidiary, the Zimbabwe Academy of Dental Nursing. I am delighted to have you with us to participate and share this special occasion. Our graduation this is our second graduation since our inception. So I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to Dr. and Mrs. Wanamidara for taking time to be with us. Dr. Msengi, for being with us today. I'm sure you had a lot of other things to do, but you accorded us this pleasure. Dr. Bishop Itari Patience Howe, the founder of El Shaddai International Ministries. We are happy to have you with us. Dr. Matikisi, we welcome you. We really appreciate your presence with us. Dr. Made, we are very humbled by your presence. Prof. Chibonga, it is indeed our pleasure to have you with us here. Dr. Shingwena, we are really touched, if I may say it, to have you here with us. And Zinaye Zimbabwe, the prof in waiting, we are grateful to have you here with us. It is my pleasure to welcome students, your families, our family, guests here today at Zimbabwe Academy of Dental Nursing event. Every one of you have made it and have impacted on the graduates who sit here today. Today, you graduates, it is just the beginning of a new era. Go out there and do what you can do with what you have learned, wherever you will be. Knowing is not enough. We must apply it. Willing is not enough. We must do it. And I'll end my welcome by quoting John Leslie, who says, achievements should always be celebrated. This is your time, graduates. This is your day. You should make it special. Congratulations on your achievement. You deserve the best. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Saka. I think by now everyone now knows and understands why we are here today. Sisi naona kuchema zaida zaidi taishanga naye. Muliko eroko. My graduates, muliko eroko. Okay, so yesterday I asked the question during rehearsals time, and I say to the graduates, "Was the ngwase sausa emsini ngela ngwase saudana kunzo wakazidza okuskapapi." Saka nakabvunza mvunzo simple. What we call the X-ray, that the dentist take of a patient's tooth, and they look puzzled, confused. Okay, because of time, I'll give you the answer. It's toothpick.
inasvika zvokupikisa handizika inonzi toothpick hamene zvamakadzidza basi ndo zvandoziva handizika. So x-ray inotorwa yezino inonzi toothpick. Thank you very much. Ndinobereka maoko ndozoimukai kuti manerenga ini mamhene kuti munozoziva kuti zvinonzi kudii. Okay, tiri papo kune zvimwe zvinhu zvokuti unongochechipenda kuti vanofanira kuzvinzwisisa but iwe vasingazvinzwisisa handizika. So vamwe wenyu ndifunga maingonzwa kuti mwana ari kuenda kuchikoro kuZadenyu, Zimbabwe Academy of Dental Nursing, Zimbabwe. Saka vamwe vanombofona kuti ndo chikoro chemadentist here ndida kuya. Saka zvonetsa. Saka nhasi kuti tinzwa kuti chinonzi Zadenyu. Chii chinonzi chii? Zadenyu handizika. Pandaimbotiticha inini makore andaiticha nditicha kuChilonu. Sekutaura kwandaita kuti pane zvimwe zvebasic zvaunongochimbotarisa kuti hai zvinhu anozviziva izvi. So a teacher of religious studies akangopinda muclass robva abvunza akati, who destroyed the walls of Jericho? Who destroyed the walls of Jericho? So the teacher expected kuti mastudents vese vachakusudza maoko vataura. So one boy raised his hands and he said, yes. He said, I don't know. Teacher, he didn't expect that young man because I know in this room almost everyone knows that. So I can just pick anyone in the crowd. I can just pick anyone in the crowd. That is what is the who destroyed the walls of Jericho. So teacher was not far. So the boy but he was expelled from school. Akatoza usingazvive kuti akadhistroya mawalls eJericho ndiani? Chinda kupi? Chinda kumba. Asvika kumba ndobva audza sekuru vaigara navo kuti angadzingwa nokuti handizivi kuti wakaputsa masvingo eJericho ndiani. Sekuru ndobva vauya naye kuchikoro kuna headmaster. Ndobva vasvika kuna headmaster vakati, muzukuru wangu ndagara naye ende ndomuziva maitiro acho. Kana ati haazivika unoyevedza kuti adii haazivi kuti wakaputsa masvingo iwaya eJerusarema ndiani. Headmaster ndobva atoona kuti itori serious. Vakati machiticha kana vatomudzinga mwana wenyu isi hatina zvatinogona kudii zvatinogona kuita. Zvanzi sekuru vakasumuka ndobva vaenda kuchikoro kuna education director kunosvitsa nyaya kuti muzukuru wangu adii vaziva chikoro nenyaya yekuti haazivi wakaputsa masvingo eJericho. Ndobva vasvika kwaeducation director vakati tauya nenyaya mukomana wadzingwa chikoro atinoona apa uri kunzi haazivi kuti ndiani wakaputsa masvingo eJericho. Education director vakati kana maona zvanetsa idai mupiwa quotation. Masvingo acho yakupwanywa kwaakaitwa chidai munopiwa chii? Quotation. Education director murivera kunomwari. Saka pamoya mavana aduka hatidi kuti tizoita zvaizvo zvandika vanenge vachikutaura ndikwakuchikoro kwanyu Zadenyu ikoko tolati vanhu vachiti Zadenyu vanenge vachiziva kuti Zadenyu chii uye inoita nezvei. So at this moment in time, ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together as I invite the principal director of Zimbabwe Academy of Dental Nursing, Dr. Farai Moyana, to come and give us the progress report.
Thank you, Pastor Small Matter Zulu, our Zimbabwe Academy of Dental Nursing chaplain, as well as today's master of ceremony. Well, I don't know whether to laugh or to be serious, because when we were doing rehearsals last Saturday and yesterday, he was timing me on one of the segments where I'm supposed to take 20 minutes. I think I went overboard by 3 minutes. And he was very furious with me. Now I understand why. He wanted to take the time to himself. So you see, when you invite a pastor to the master of ceremony, I hope we eat breakfast, because we also have a bishop who's going to speak. So we are in a serious business today. Anyway, thank you very much for that humor, Mr. MC. It lightened the environment. Our guest of honor and the keynote speaker, who I shall introduce formally later, Dr. Engineer Quindon C. Kamukame, who is also the Vice Chancellor of the Harare Institute of Technology, popularly known as HIT, the Acting Director of Oral Health Services in the Ministry of Health and Child Care, Dr. Hadwick Matigiti, the Chairperson of the Department of Dentistry, University of Zimbabwe, Dr. Fiona Magone. I don't know if she managed to arrive, but she had confirmed that she'll be attending. But I don't see her here, so let's say honor in absentia. The President of the Zimbabwe Dental Surgery Assistant Association, Ms. Justina Nkala, all the way from Bulawayo. The President of the Zimbabwe Dental Association, Dr. Advance Chingwena. The Managing Partner of SEDA and Hole, radiologist, Dr. Seda, who has suddenly been represented by her colleagues. They are sitting amongst us. She gave us a last-minute cancellation, so I'll recognize her. The head of CIMAS Business Development, Mr. Tenda Matsikanda, also standing in for the Managing Director of CIMAS Medical Aid Society. The head of El Shaddai International Ministries, Bishop, Dr. Patience Itaiwole. You will correct us later this morning. Where should we put the bishop and where should we put the doctor? So that we get it right next time. Dr. Joseph Made, one of the longest serving agronomists and cabinet minister in Zimbabwe, and a friend of the Zimbabwe Academy of Dental Nursing. Mr. Unganai Chivore, he will arrive shortly. I think he's at court. Mr. Unganai Chivore, a leading legal practitioner and also a friend of the Zimbabwe Academy of Dental Nursing. Graduates, parents, spouses, partners, children, family, and all friends of the graduates, our sponsors, distinguished guests, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, and all protocol observed. I take this opportunity to welcome all of you to this important occasion. I thank you for accepting our invitation and gracing this occasion. Allow me to recognize all again amongst the congregation. My mother was seated in front, Mrs. Sophie Mlambo Majewe, Ni Gapara, Mukunda Gapara. In Shona, well, I'm from the east, from Tindao. Singai Maivan, Rakone, Rakone. I have noted that I pass. So, though I said, my leader, going in Harare, she's the acting mother. There's an elder sister called Nyambezi Gapara in Chipinge. So, she always makes sure she comes to our occasions. Well, I mentioned something else here. I said, so I hope I'm feeling more like a big boy now. I know today is not about me. It is about the very important people who are gathered here for, the graduates sitting on my right. But let me say a bit about myself so that we know each other. As you have heard already, my name is Farai Moyana. I grew up wanting to be either a school teacher or a male nurse. Isn't that funny, looking at how I'm looking now? I wanted to be simple school teacher, male nurse. Down there at Mount Cylinder Mission, we had one teacher, I must say this, may his soul rest in peace, Mr. Mlambo Chigogwana from Bikoni Hill School. He came to our school, not to teach a glamorous subject, but to teach Shona in the Bible. And that was the time when people looked down upon those subjects. They wanted sciences, maths, but he changed the narrative. Everyone started loving Shona. And why did he do this? And how did he do this? It was the way he taught. It was years later when I did my first degree in adult education, when one of my lecturers said, if a teacher is a good teacher, students must salivate for knowledge. Even when they see you passing by the corridor, they must stand up and peep out, hoping he's coming to their class. And that's what we did in Church for One. And you see the reason why I wanted to be a teacher. Then I won't tell you the story why I wanted also to be a male nurse. It will be for another graduation, so that you attend to that one. So I think I've achieved both. Being a school teacher and a male nurse, because I'm a dentist. If I become a professor, it will be just an added advantage. I think I'm in soccer, what do they call this? Extra time. I first trained as a dental therapist and completed the training in 1987. That does not mean I'm very old. I was only 20 years old when I completed that training, so you can do your math. I'm in my 50s. At Parenya Central Hospital. My very first post-basic training was the Health Teachers Diploma, funded by Germans using one of their international development foundation called GSC. I don't know how to translate into English. At Mandel Training Center. And I used to be the youngest in class, most of my earlier qualifications, but now I'm becoming the oldest in class. So the rest is history. Since I say today is not about me. But as I stand here in front of you, I'm also celebrating. I'm celebrating my Doctor of Philosophy degree in Bioethics and Health Law from the prestigious University of the Witwatersrand in South Africa. This is my 6th degree, having a career of reading and reading and reading. So my PhD is my 6th. I have 3 other master's degrees, including an MPH, MPhil, MBA, and of course I'm a dentist, I have a BDS, and my first degree was a Bachelor of Adult Education. And that's where the inspiration to want to teach and impart knowledge and skills to others came from. They say the first cut cuts deeper. So once a teacher, always a teacher. I wish to congratulate you, the graduates, who have worked hard to ensure that you complete your training program successfully. Certainly your hard work, determination, and prayers have finally borne fruit. We sincerely thank the parents, spouses, guardians, and sponsors for the immense support to the graduates so that you pursue your studies to completion. But as Irene said, this is just the beginning. That's why I gave you a bit of narration that at 20 years old, I was just like you. So this is just the beginning. In order to amplify our love for the education of adults at the Zimbabwe Academy of Dental Nursing, allow me to start with a famous quote from an English playwright. I think Pastor Zul has already guessed it because he's going to mock me about him later. The playwright was called William Shakespeare. And I got a nickname when I was doing grade 7 when I acted a part in a novel called Merchant of Venice. Well, I was not a villain, I was the good guy. I acted the part of Antonio. Many of you remember Shylock, Pound of Flesh. And that's when I think I first learned that law and philosophy are better than twins. Because Dr. Amade remember how Shylock lost in court. When the judge said, okay, you can take your pound of flesh, but your contract says no drop of blood on the floor. So that's what your contract says. Go ahead and take your pound of flesh. So he couldn't, because how could we do that? So with that small narrative, you can see law can be used to save society, can also be used to harm. So I've said something about that. So let me quote him finally, and I quote: "Ignorance is the case of God. Knowledge is the wing wherewith we fly to heaven." End of quote. This is in King Henry VI, Part 2, Scene 7. The source says it was published in 1590. That could be over 400 centuries ago. I hope that's correct. Let me give now a bit of background to the Zimbabwe Academy of Dental Nursing. Let me start by saying, while dental surgery assistants are not and should not be confused with being dentists nor assistant dentists, because people mix these things even when they look for places for their children. They think they are sending them to become dentists. So they are not. But they are very valued and important healthcare professionals that work alongside dental specialists, dentists, dental therapists, and oral hygienists in the treatment of patients, allowing for safe and effective oral health care delivery. And in order to render this safe oral health care delivery, there is a global trend and a need to professionalize the dental surgery assistants. Not only do they assist the dentist or other dental professionals in dental procedures, but they also make note of any specific instructions or procedures to be communicated to the patient during or after treatment. The job of a dental surgery assistant includes receiving patients, receiving treatment charts and reviewing them, and preparing the patient for treatment. And yet often the dental surgery assistant goes a little bit beyond that. They make notes, some dentists like to dictate to their dental nurse, and they should be able to paraphrase, summarize, so that the dentist can focus on treating the patient. You know, with our job, you only make an income when you are really treating the patient. And with this COVID era, you can wonder how many pairs of gloves you need to remove while writing the patient's chart, then wearing a new pair to go back into the mouth. So if you have a dental surgery assistant who is well trained, who can take dictation, it definitely increases to the efficiency. And so they do also all of that. They must also ensure that surgical and dental instruments are properly cleaned and sterilized before procedures begin. And they could be asked to assist in taking x-rays, for example. That's very, very common. Cleaning prostheses, like dentures, taking pre- and post-treatment photos, casting dental models, communicating with external stakeholders, like medical aides, the dental laboratory, medical specialists, and so forth and so forth. So while the dental surgery assistants do not perform any actual surgery upon the patients, they may be responsible for many other important things, as I've explained here. So upon realizing that Zimbabwe was slowly lagging behind in this global trend to professionalize this important dental occupational group, the Zimbabwe Academy of Dental Nursing, with the acronym ZADENU. So I get so many new acronyms. ZADENU is one strange one that I always get, but it's actually ZADENU, Zimbabwe Academy of Dental Nursing. Like many famous Zimbabwean organizations which start with Z, it is also becoming very famous. I think Dr. Made is laughing. It is registered with the Ministry of Higher higher and tertiary education, science and technology development of Zimbabwe, to offer an 18-month diploma in dental surgery assistant, or assisting rather. This academy is also endorsed by the Zimbabwe Dental Association. Thank you, Mr. President, Dr. Chingwenu, for coming.